Bad pitches, batsman's paradise, spin advantage. These words have been floating around a lot recently. But why are Indian pitches under a constant scrutiny in the current World Cup? And more importantly, what makes a good pitch? How do we evaluate it? Let's take a deep dive into the science of pitches and uncover the truth using facts. But before we start, we need to know how pitches work and what are the different types of pitches. And more importantly, how do these different pitches affect the game? There are primarily 4 different types of pitches: green tops, hard and bouncy, dead flat, and slow and dusty. Let's deconstruct each one of these, shall we? Starting with the green tops, these are the kinds of pitches you see in colder regions near the pole, like the ones in England, Scotland, or New Zealand. Since these regions lie in the middle of extreme dryness of the equator and extreme cold of the poles, the pitches are well suited for greenery. These green pitches are naturally a bit more slippery than absolutely dry pitches. Therefore, the balls used on these pitches usually preserve their shine for longer. A shinier ball means good swing. On top of that, the pitch itself is uneven when you look at it up close. It's grass, go figure. There, it allows more off-pitch movement, meaning the ball can deviate a lot from its path. This makes for balls that are extremely difficult to predict, making it great for pacers. The second kind is hard and bouncy pitches. The hard and bouncy pitch has a bit of grass but not a lot, making it kind of the best of both worlds. The clay content is greater and they are slightly grippier, which means they are much better for spin bowling. But since it has a good amount of grass on it as well, bowlers can choose to seam on it as well. These pitches are found in ample amounts in temperate climates like South Africa. The third kind is a dead flat pitch. These pitches are extremely low in moisture and are rolled flatter than a paratha. And then there are the slow and dusty pitches we have here in India. These pitches don't have much grass and are partly rolled. Moreover, these pitches are usually made of red soil and silt, like the one in Wankhede. These pitches have a tendency to break down during the game and evolve as the game progresses. After breaking down, the pitches develop a bite to them and hence provide a much greater grip to the ball, giving the spinners a great advantage. I guess that answers our question pretty well, doesn't it? A spin-friendly pitch isn't really a pacer's first choice. Common sense. Pacers like Hazelwood, Stark, etc. are unable to hold their ground in these pitches. Now, if you look at the India's bowling lineup, which is doing really well, the first names that come up to our mind are Bumrah, Shami, Siraj, Umran Malik, Prasidh Krishna. Wait a minute, all of these bowlers are pacers as well. Doesn't that throw away our hypothesis? Well, there is an important catch. These dusty pitches don't break down before 50 or 60 overs, which means that the bite we talked about simply doesn't appear in one-day internationals. Then what? Well, the difference is in the type of pace attack these bowlers rely on. Bowlers like Josh Hazelwood and Mitchell Stark rely on swing to deviate their balls, whereas their Indian counterparts are well versed in seaming. The difference between the two is subtle but important. Balls that are seamed change their path after hitting the ground because they hit the ground with, well, the seam. Whereas swingers swing their ball mid-air using the difference in friction between one side and the other. And the Indian climate is not well suited for swing bowling anyways. Moreover, Indian pitchers wear the ball down, making a swing inherently difficult. And this is where Indian pacers shine. Pun intended. Along with seaming the ball on the pitch, pacers like Shami have practiced with worn-out balls and know the conditions which would change how the ball behaves on the pitch. I hope that answers all of your questions about pitches. If there is something I missed out, let me know down in the comments. Till then, you've been watching Cricket Gyan. Stay tuned.